My name is Nassim Sabs.
Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened to you that you couldn't explain? That made you feel sort of foolish when you tried to tell somebody about it? Well, if it has, you have plenty of company, as you'll soon see.
Today we're going to be talking about satellite light pulse technology, new military weapons that are basically cutting edge, top of the line mental psyops, advanced psyops, as well as holographic technologies, which are semi-tangible and will allow the operators to actually make physical contact with you without even being there. Some people have claimed, about seeing specters and seeing demons or visuals or holograms. And I want to let everybody know this is absolutely a capability. Only in the last year or two, this has gotten a lot more expanded and technology's come a lot further. There is another type of hologram that's not just a carrier of information and general hallucinations. These newer holograms, this cutting edge technology I'm about to tell you about, can actually come at you and you can feel it, you can sense it, it can give you the creepy crawlies just like a real spirit's there. You can get the cold chills, so to speak, as people talk about during ghostly encounters. And yes, they have the capability to give you the sensation as they even touch your skin or body. They can actually infiltrate your bodily space in a semi-tangible holographic form. Now, this is a very vague and very little is understood about the science. Like I said, it's very cutting edge. It's very new, but it's starting to happen to TIs more and more often. And I talk to people that have personally had this experience. And I myself, during my harassment, had this experience. And what it is you can actually feel like somebody's touching you. You can actually feel somebody maybe even grab you, push you, shove you. This has been more commonly reported in the last 2 to 3 years. And it's really coming a long way since then. It's becoming more and more and more common. They can reach inside and shut down your bodily organs with this technology, people. People that have leaked this information to the public have wound up dead. There's been doctors that have worked for the government, scientists, and if they talk about this too much, all of a sudden, boom, they're turning up dead here and there. It's very, very sad, and this needs to be more addressed. Now, this holographic stuff, I have noticed this. This is my personal experience that I will venture out on a limb and tell you a little bit about. My personal experience is when I went on this walk, I went out into this field completely alone, away from the power lines, away from the electronics. I live in a semi-rural area. I live in a pretty good-sized country town, and I decided to walk to the outskirts, into the meadows, the fields, the farmland, and just to see if there were other ways that TIs might be able to receive frequency. And what I discovered was there is. And it is delivered via these remote holograms. It is almost actually like they remote control themselves or a person. Now they can get within 30 to 50 to 100 feet of you. GPS tracking methods like I've described before in other videos, and they can shoot a light pulse down straight out of the satellite, straight out of the sky, right down in your vicinity. And then that remote person, that remote hologram, that semi-tangible form, can actually approach you. And this was my experience. It approached me. This is just their layered frequency in concurrence with these holograms. And they will go very far out. This goes into advanced psychological warfare. On the American public, on the European public, on whatever country you might be in if you're experiencing this. These people have achieved this. They can actually put a headset on or put some kind of cast or form on where they can basically, without having to actually remote view, without having to actually have the psychic power to do this naturally, can come to you and approach you and mess with you really, really hard. And I just wanted to let other TIs know out there if they experience this, because I experienced it during my time as a targeted individual. If you experience this, don't freak out. Don't get scared. It is a very unnerving experience. Believe me, I know. I found out that these light pulses were coming directly out of the sky. There were no clouds that night. Absolutely no storms, no weather, no wind, so to speak. But I seen these light pulses coming down in my vicinity, and they would strike the ground. And I'm telling you, I know they're semi-tangible because as these holograms approach me, as they approached, I could hear the leaves rustle, the sticks break, just almost like human weight. I'm not kidding you, folks. This is creepy, creepy stuff we're dealing with. And they're pulling off and they're doing it. Get ready, because the age of the semi-tangible hologram, the remote human being, the light pulse, it is here. They can do amazing stuff with this technology that we never knew they could.
If you're a machine trying to sense our world, how would you actually break the problem down? You would probably try to classify things as a human, an environment, or an object. But how would the machine then interact with reality? And I can think of three ways. First, as a machine, I would observe, or I would input reality. Speech recognition and biometric authentication are great examples of a machine interacting with humans from an input perspective. Secondly, as a machine, I could place digital information or output information into reality. Holograms are examples of a machine interacting with an environment from an output perspective. Finally, as a machine, I could exchange energy with the world via haptics. Now imagine being able to feel the temperature of a virtual object, or better yet, imagine pushing a hologram and having it push you back with equal force. With this perspective, we are able to collapse reality into a simple matrix.
Now, the true answer of the matrix is, of course, because this world is a simulation. It's not real. And so when you perceive all these millions and millions and billions of people going to hell, you have to realize that they're not real. You know, you're the only thing that's real. And this is like a virtual reality test for you. And that's the answer to your riddle. Seriously, and people have said it in sci-fi films and sci-fi stories. It really is that. So before complaining on to God about the collective, realize there is no collective. Realize that it's like a hologram, and everything you perceive and all the people you perceive outside of you, as close as they feel to you, they're not really. And question yourselves, are these people really in my life? Is this really my wife? Is this really, and sure, she's your wife. Sure, those are your friends. But you have to realize that they're not really real. And even though they'll say, wait a second, I am too real in your life, yet they can speak because it's you speaking to yourself. And I know that's really going to be impossible for people to get their head around, because it's so good, the deception, that You just can't, it's true for everybody, whatever everybody means. So therefore, you come into this world alone. If you want to get out of the matrix, you do it alone. There's no walking with anyone through it. It's you and your God, and whatever you are, you bring that, and you just got to cut a swath. Let the chips fall where they may. If you wind up with no friends at all, no family, no nothing, life is worth it. Number one, what's happening to you comes out of the psychic realm. It's all projection. But it's so fancy, that it's so real that we, just like the airplane thing, we believe it. The important thing, my point is how do I react? Do I have a strong faith? Am I walking by faith and not by sight? Am I doing those things? And if I'm not, because I'm so busy reacting, then I'm losing. If I am, then I'm winning. It's a very advanced technology, rather than saying it's the spirit. It's a very advanced technology, and these beings are running a business here, and you're the commodity.
Getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, babe, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspect it's
Okay, so they don't understand that it's not a vehicle. The ones that are actually vehicles, meaning they're not devils, they're not devils that make themselves look like that. The ones that are actually real vehicles, they don't have like moving parts on them. Like the ones that are actually literal spaceships, like literal technology, like they don't have like moving pieces to them. Okay. The ones that are devils that just make themselves look to be like a spaceship, the skin of the devil, okay, because that's the fucking devil, the skin of it morphs, okay? The skin of it morphs, and it has morphing skin. So the skin of the devil that makes itself look like a spaceship morphs and changes its shape, okay? Including the lights that it has. These things are not like friendly things, like, oh, E.T. Go Home by Steven Spielberg. No, these things will freaking kill you. They will kill you. They'll kill you if they have the chance.